We have a seat for you in the Delmarva Life audience. Be a part of the fun here in Historic Studio D. Book your seat by visiting delmarvalife.com and clicking on the show tab, or just give us a call, 443-880-9116. You know, appetizers always sound like such a great idea, but very few of us actually have time to fuss with the fancy dishes or search for the simpler ones.
Well, your search is over. WBOC's Sussex County Bureau Chief Joe Buono joins us once again to show us how to make a simple bruschetta.
One of my favorites. Really just great. You get a lot of fresh ingredients. I mean, tomatoes, basil. Those are the two primary ingredients, and we're going to show people today how to really prepare it. I like to we actually have a lot of it done, but we're going to get started right here. At least if you'd like to start chopping.
I'll tell you what, before you do that, tell me real quick what we're putting in here. You said tomatoes, you got the bread.
Tomatoes and basil are really super important. Red onion is also really important, but not a necessity. Also,
Parmesan.
Parmesan cheese is one of my favorite ingredients.
Garlic.
Not normal. Yep, garlic, and then extra virgin olive oil. That's
okay, so I'm going to cut this tomato up, right?
If you'd like to start cutting the tomato, and Jim, we actually have to cut up the basil, get it really, kind of fine, as much as we can cut it up.
Okay.
And I'm actually going to start chopping the bread here.
So this is actually a family recipe, right?
It is.
Oh, really?
I learned this from my mom, and I actually, worked on it over the years. Her and I both enjoy cooking very, very much. I come from a household where cooking is religion.
Big family?
Pretty big family, absolutely big family. It's me, my mother, Dorian, my father, Joseph Sr., and my brother Jared, who I'm very, very close with as well.
Right. Where are you from originally?
I'm originally from, I grew up in New York City and moved out to Long Island at a young age. So I'm a New York boy.
Is that Jared right there?
That is Jared right there. That's our time in upstate New York in the Finger Lakes region. That's where I used to work.
Boy, you could hear the change in his voice when he brought that up,
Oh,
couldn't you?
yeah. Me and my brother were very, very close. He's a student at Binghamton University. I love him to death. We talk all the time, and I really miss him. I can't wait for him to come down here. I just got a place in Lewis. That's where I'm living, and I can't wait for him to come down and visit, and maybe we'll do some cooking together. We'll go out. We'll have a good time.
Yeah. Now, how did you get into this crazy business?
Oh, my goodness. Well, you go to college to find out what exactly you want to do for a living, right? Well,
that's what they say.
Well, that's what they say. Well, I joined my college television station at the time, and it kind of really just took off from there. Really just had a great time talking on television at my college TV station. Then I got into this industry.
Right, right.
Neat.
All right, so what do we do now?
Okay, so we have all these ingredients, and what we really want to do is mix them. But before we mix them, really important, we got to take the tomatoes and we got to get rid of all this tomato juice. What's happening right now is we have all these tomatoes cut. We cut up some tomatoes too, Lisa. All this tomato juice is at the bottom. And we really don't want any of that because that's going to make the bread all soggy. So what we're going to do is we're going to dump it in here. So we're going to get rid of all that tomato juice that's sitting at the bottom. Now, don't forget, you can get this address. It's very easy. Get this recipe. All you have to do is send us a self-addressed stamped envelope to 1729 North Salisbury Boulevard in Salisbury, 21801. You can visit us on delmarvalife.com. The number to call is 443-880-9116. And be sure to ask for the bruschetta. That's right.
Mr. Buono, Mr. Buono's bruschetta.
Now, Joe, you say your name is kind of a topic of conversation a lot. Why is that?
Yeah, I have a very common name. My first name is Joseph. I got it from my dad and his dad, and then his dad. You know, so, but being in the television industry, Joe is a very common name. So I've been a lot of places where there's been a lot of Joes, and then they just started calling me Joe B, and that kind of just doesn't sound very good. So eventually my nickname became JB, and that's what people really call me outside of work.
And you got to WBOC because of another WBOC reporter?
That's right. If you remember from Delmarva Life, what was it? He's been on recently, Bill Mitch. And I were friends in upstate New York.
Did he do a split or something?
Yeah, he did the split.
You guys remember. There he is.
There we go.
Bill isn't good at a lot of things, but he could do a split. I'll give him that. Oh,
wow.
Look at that.
So you're going to do that for us too, right?
No. He's far more flexible than I am.
Well, darn, there we go.
All right, so now we're at the point where we're going to start mixing all of these ingredients. This is where it really gets fun. We have the tomatoes. We're going to start pouring in the red onion. The great thing about bruschetta is if you're not crazy about onion, don't put in too much. If you're not crazy about basil, don't put in too much. It's really just a matter of what exactly you want to put in.
All right.
So we're sprinkling it all in here. I'm going to put in the Parmesan cheese.
So as you do this more often, you can discover what you like the most.
Exactly, and that's really how you perfect the recipe over time, is that you maybe a little less red onion here, maybe a little bit more oregano there, and now, we actually just put in that. Yeah, we did that.
A little bit of olive oil.
And now a little extra virgin olive oil, not too much, because we don't want to soak the bread too much, just a little bit to drizzle on top. And then the fun part, it's really up to you in terms of what you want to do. You can you know, get in there with your hands. You can get in there with the spoon. You guys have any preference on what
We do the spoon,
We'll do the
thanks.
spoon,
you
thank
do the
you.
spoon? Okay.
While I'm doing this, tell me more about what got you here.
Interesting. Yeah, I always had this dream of living by the beach.
Really?
So always, at a young age, I grew up on the beach. My mother had a membership to to Silver Point Beach Club in Queens, in New York City. That's actually a picture of me at that beach club growing up. Some of
You're
my
a cute
first,
little bugger.
Oh yeah. A lot more cute than I am now. a lot of my first steps took place in the sand. The beach is a very, very important place to me, and so when I had the opportunity to join WBOC and live out by the Delaware beaches as the Sussex County Bureau Chief, it was an opportunity that I really jumped at. And having Bill here, Bill was an extremely close friend of mine in upstate New York, so there were a lot of reasons to come here.
And we want to congratulate you real quickly on an award you just got.
Oh, thank you
Yeah,
very much.
that's
Yes,
awesome.
I was just nominated for some awards by the New York State Associated Press. Their Broadcasters Association recognized some of my work, and in June I'm going to be going back up there to upstate New York, and hopefully,
Well, congratulations.
Take away the prize.
We
All right.
wish
Take away
you
the prize.
best.
Congratulations, and we're gonna get this all together, taste it when we come back. Still to come on Delmarva Live, a 2-hour season finale cliffhanger of Elementary airs tonight on WBOC. Out next, members of the cast give us a sneak peek of what to expect.
Plus, we have another chance for you to win tickets to Tracy Lawrence concert next month in Denton. You may even get a chance to go backstage and meet the country superstar.
But first, here's a look at what's coming up in the news on First at 5 on Fox 21 and later on WBOC News at 6.